Hi guys, welcome to another video. Finally, the long-awaited stable tour. I suppose I had posted one of these quite a while ago now, I think, right back when I first started this channel. And so, yeah, not much has changed, but there are a number of new people here who weren't here when that video was first posted, and I've had messages and some comments asking to do a stable tour. So, yeah, here is my stable tour. So this is my wash bay. So it's just to the right as you walk in to the stables. It's just here on the right. So I've got some mats down which drive me mad, and I'm going to be replacing them with just one piece of rubber very soon. This is just where I put my buckets after I've washed them. So these are cross tires. So I've got a rope on each side, obviously, and this is where the horses stand when I'm doing anything with them. I've got my saddle rack here, which is like a fold out saddle rack for when I'm tacking up in the mornings. Then over here, Stormy's fan, got all my shampoos, some poultice, white healer, that sort of stuff, towels, and then that bucket down there, or that little box down there, is all my brushes and everything, etc. Those are some washing buckets that I use for like hot oil and things like that. It's hot and cold water, nice and warm for winter or when I'm needing to wash them. Got my washing machine, which is a lifesaver. It gets a workout. And then all of my utensils are stored up here on the wall. My blower, very handy leaf blower, down the bottom there. And then just a little jacket hook on the back of the door. Okay, and then to the left as you come in, so opposite my wash bay, I have the one section of my stable that I'm not in love with, that I'm not a super fan of. So got my hay here, that's fine. It's great being on the pallets, keeps the dust down, etc. But this is what I don't like, is these buckets, or these bins, sorry. So I've had these for a very long time from our old stable when we first moved, and yeah, I don't like how they look, but it's also really expensive for me to replace them. So until then, I will be having these. They work great. They're just not the most aesthetically pleasing. Then I've got a little bench here that Dad put up for me. That's just got all my little supplements, extra bits, whiteboard for all the feeds and everything. So there's my feeds, radio, speaker, etc. This is a rack that Dad also made me. So this is where I put all my heavy rugs in the middle of winter, so that I can get them dry overnight, and I can also dry things in here if, you know, it's raining or whatever and I still need to do the washing. I hang it on there, so that's really handy. So before I show you sort of the actual stables, I really do want to just sort of preface this with I am obviously extremely lucky to have these stables and incredibly grateful for them. And it's part of the reason why I keep them spotless, because I think that would be rather insulting to Dad, who hand built all of these, if I was just to, you know, trash them and keep them messy. But I also hate mess, so that helps as well. So yes, Mum and Dad did pay for the shed. Dad hand built everything that you see in here. The stables, everything, the frames, the mesh, hand cut all the wood to put it in, like everything he built. So he's an engineer by trade, and was able to build all of this for me, which cut down on a heap of costs, but obviously took a lot of his time, and I'm very incredibly grateful for that. And so yes, I have all of this. I completely, like, fully support the horses financially on my own. So I have all of this, but everything that the horses have, whether it's farrier, chiro, feed, competition entries, new gear, whatever it is, I support the horses entirely on my own. So I thought I'd just, put that in here, that I'm very lucky to have all of this, and I do work a lot to make sure that I can fully support the horses so that I'm not yeah, dependent on mum and dad. So these are the actual stables. So they've all got these racks on the front where I keep their woolen rug. A stable rug in the middle of winter will also be on there. Stable boots and their set of paddock boots. So then every stable has their name on it, like so. And then the stables are half rubber, so you can see there's 4 rubber mats in here. So there's 4 rubber mats, and then where this mat here stops, it turns to concrete. So the sawdust is over the concrete. So it means I save on sawdust by having it here, but I couldn't afford to put more mats in all of the stables and completely cover them. So I have the sawdust at the back, and that works really great. Little hooks for their hay bags. So there's hooks on both sides of the stable. So depending on what horses I have in here and what they prefer, I can change that around. I just have plastic buckets for the water because it's easy to empty, and doesn't matter if they break them or anything. I decided not to have the electric waters because of how easily they break. And then every stable also has a top door that closes if I need it. I don't use it personally on my horses, although I have had to with Charlie when she had a horse next to her, because she didn't like having that horse near her, and she was much better when we closed the door and she sort of had her own private little place. But we put them there anyway because Dad was building them, and we put it there in case we ever needed it. They can come off using this here. They can come off and lift off if I don't want them, so they come off really easily. All of the wood panels are screwed in, so if a horse was to kick one of these wood panels out here, you can see it's screwed in here, which means we can just replace that one panel that they break or kick out, and we're not having to replace the entire door like you do in the store-bought stable panels where they're all just one sheet of plywood or something. This one we can actually replace just the panel that broke, which is obviously really handy. So I have 4 stables. They're 4x4. In terms of like their size, they're 4x4 meters. Kiwi stable, and yeah, they're all identical, and they just love it in here. There's insulation in the roof, so it keeps them nice and cool in summer and warm in winter. There's also insulation behind these walls here, which again helps temperature control. And these are my misters, which you've seen in the summer, my summer routine video. Those are the misters that go over the top of each stable. So they have them on in the middle of summer. And these are fake flowers. I always get asked about how do I keep these flowers alive. They are not alive. They are in fact fake. So up the end is my tack room. I did that little video that hopefully I've already put in to sort of show you around and everything that's in here. So everything you see in here furniture wise, like so all the shelving, the sink, the bench, everything like that has all been recycled. Whether that came from the house when we moved, so like this shelving behind me came out of the kitchen that was here when we bought the house. This bookcase was in my sister's bedroom at our old house. The other bookcase was in my parents' bedroom at our old house. So it's all been recycled, which is really nice to be able to use that again and didn't have to go out and buy new shelving. So I won't do an in-depth sort of show around, I suppose, of the tack room and everything that's in here. But if that's a video you'd be interested in about what I actually have in my tack room, how I organize it, etc., then yeah, just be sure to let me know. I'm happy to film a more in-depth tack room tour and show you actually how everything is stored and where I keep everything. Then you go through this little corridor here. This is where I have my whiteboard that tells me everything that I'm going to be doing for the week, so I can plan out my week and I know what I have to do, what horses I'm working, etc. All our dates down here for all our appointments, competition calendar. Then we come through here, and this is what I call my little kitchen. So I have a heap of photos on the wall. This was Kiwi after the bushfire, so that's the front page of the Advertiser, which is the big paper here in South Australia. This was Stormy's article that was in Horse Deals last year, and Kiwi's article that was in Horse Deals after the fire. And yeah, just a bunch of photos. More on this side. So it's just nice to have these memories when you come in here in the morning or during the day. And that one fell down just before, so that is sitting there for the time being. Then I've got all my coffee making stuff, my lolly jar, which is always well stocked, so it's looking a bit sad there at the moment. And then I've also got my fridge in here that's got more photos. This was my very first riding helmet, still got scratches on it from my very first fall, and the photos from my very first riding lessons, so that's a bit cute. And it looks out into the arena, which is really nice. Obviously I never see anyone in there because I'm the only one who is riding in the arena, but it's nice to have that view and looks out onto the arena.